Guys, this is the United Way. My name's Elliot, and obviously Connell has mentioned that I'm going to do some videos in previous videos, as the last one. And yeah, when he messaged me about the idea, I thought it sounded pretty cool. I'm doing a football course, university football degree, and I spend all my time talking about football. I'm a United fan, so I thought I may as well do it with a camera in front of my face. Onto the match. I'm here to review the Barcelona versus Manchester United pre-season fixture, in which Manchester United won, obviously, 3-1. It was a pretty good match. A lot of talking points around the youth development of the club recently, involving Arsene Wenger, and the final two goals were scored by youth product, and they were assisted by youth product. Lingard scored the first one, assisted by Tyler Blackett. Second one was assisted by Lingard, scored by Januzaj. And a 3-1 victory over a club like Barcelona, for people to say that Manchester United have abandoned their youth culture. Well, they finished the game with 7 out of 11 on the pitch being youth products from Manchester United, so I'm not quite sure where he got that idea. And the first goal was scored by the captain, Wayne Rooney, who's been at the club since he was 18. And he's also a homegrown player and the captain of England. I'd like to wager that by the end of the season, Manchester United would have had far more youth product involved than Arsene Wenger's side. But yeah, anyway, to reviewing the match. The game, obviously, it's a pre-season game and the result is pretty irrelevant, but it's nice to beat Barcelona, why isn't it? City lost 4-1 to Real Madrid yesterday, or the day before, rather, and we beat Barcelona. I know it's someone I'd rather have in pre-season, although I'd rather finish above them at the end of the season like they did to us last season, so swings and roundabouts. But the fitness is there, the players are looking good. There's a lot going on with the team. There's a lot of potential in the team. The wing backs, Luke Shaw and Darmian, were really impressive against Barcelona, I thought. The team cohesion as a whole in the first 55, 60 minutes, whatever it was, before Van Gaal pulled all 11 off. That was very good, very fluid. I thought one point to note negatively about one of the new signings was Schneiderlin. Felt he was a bit of a passenger yesterday. The game may have overwhelmed him a bit. As a club the size of Barcelona, I'm not quite sure he's ready for that sort of stress. It didn't. He was quite happy to not sort of dictate the game. And as somebody who a lot of people see as the long-term replacement for Michael Carrick, it it might be a bit tough for him to embed what the club ethos is if he can't hold himself up in big games. He was involved in a few things, he put himself about, but I didn't feel that he really created anything. He set the tone of the match like Michael Carrick in his prime would. So obviously he's young, he's adapting to the club, and the potential is there for him to be a very brilliant player. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Another negative was no Bastian Schweinsteiger, obviously. The German, the Führer, he was out, injured. Van Gaal said he expects him to be able to play on Thursday against Paris Saint-Germain, and which was his comments were interesting. He says Bastian needs to impress him, and hopefully he would, which is exactly what Manchester United need. A club this size, even with players like Bastian Schweinsteiger, none of them are more important than any of the others. Bastian needs to impress just like everyone else does. And although he's a world-class talent, one of the best, he's the captain of Germany, he's a world champion, he's won everything he can, he still needs to impress to get into the team for the start of the season. And that's exactly what we need. We can't have players like Angel Di Maria, for example, who clearly believes he just deserves a spot in the team. And then since November, when he hasn't really been involved in the team, he's now running off to Paris. So do we need players like that? I don't think we do. I'm quite happy to see Di Maria go. I say juice his balls and cash in. Get rid of him. As far as I'm concerned, he's clearly not interested in the club, and clearly Manchester United have a huge ambition over the next couple of seasons. They're aiming for the Champions League, they're aiming for the Premier League, and if he doesn't want to be a part of that, and he just wants to live in Paris in a dead league and not really be involved, cash in his paycheck, then that's fine. Just get rid of him. We can do better without players like that, to be honest. Especially the £60 million flop, the biggest flop in Premier League history. He's bordering on if he does leave. he doesn't leave and he turns it around and he proves what a lot of people are thinking wrong, and that's fair enough. That's brilliant. But I think it seems pretty done that he's off to Paris by the end of this week. So there's a lot of talk about Pedro replacing him. Proven Barcelona thing. A lot of people say, oh, he hasn't played, but who's getting in ahead of Neymar, Suarez, and Messi? Nobody really. The best three strikers, centre forwards, free across the attack, whatever you want to call it, ever, arguably. And they're only going to get better together. Neymar's still very young. Suarez is still, he's at the peak and he's still got a couple of years to really nail it. Messi's not slowing down anytime soon, so they're going to be at the top. They could quite easily be the first team to retain the Champions League. If Neymar and Messi obviously weren't in the game yesterday, so if Manchester United did play against them, I think the squad, the fixture might have gone a bit different. Suarez hit the post a couple of times and he had a goal offside. He was basically leading the line on his own. Pedro didn't seem too involved. Maybe his mind is elsewhere on the opposition, for example. A lot of talk he's coming to us in the next few days, so hopefully we'll see that occur. I like the guy. I think he's a top talent. He's 27 and he's always been consistent for Barcelona and Spain. So he's a big game player as well. You have a look at some of the goals he scored over his career. He scored against Manchester United in 2011 Champions League final to open the game. He is a top talent, and for the fee that was mentioned, 22 million. If we can sell Di Maria for 50 and buy him for 20, I mean that's an absolute steal. To be honest, that's a really good way to go. So yeah, obviously the game on the whole, we won 3-1, and the signs are looking good. But again, it's all about getting the players fit and ready and sharp, and they're looking sharper as they're going along. I'm hoping to see the likes of Januzaj and Lingard involved in the team this season. Lingard was very unlucky with his injury on the start of the season, last season when we lost to Swansea, but he was playing at left wing back. He picked up an injury half an hour in. His team was very mismatched at the start of the season last year, whereas I think Van Gaal knows what he wants this season, how he wants to start. Obviously, there was a talk about a secret striker. Will we buy one? Will everyone bring it in? It was important to know that Januzaj did play up front yesterday, and is he perhaps the secret striker that Van Gaal intends to use this season? That'd be great. I love the guy. He's brilliant. He's in his season under Moyes, he was a fan favourite. He was a big player, and he's a youth product, and he could be a legend at Manchester United if he does. And if it's at centre forward, then that's brilliant. Thanks guys for watching. I look forward to doing more videos for the United way. Hopefully in the near future, and don't forget to like and subscribe. My Twitter username will be in the details below, so if you don't already, follow me on Twitter. Check me out. Cheers guys. Thanks.